Well, the number one thing that I learned is that I wasn't as ready as I said that I was
In receiving love.
in
and
receiving
finding
love.
First and foremost, I've learned that I wasn't as ready as I claimed to be when it came to receiving love. I understand that people can fall into that perception because it's easy, but I refuse to let anyone hold me back from my past or anything I own. You're a lawyer, so you can't even tell a lie. You want to sit here and discuss your finances, mental health, and sense of peace. However, you also want to bring up Queen's Court, even though they have nothing to do with this breakup. It turns out that Junior isn't the man we believed him to be. Jeffrey not only had Tamar's ex-fiancé broken up with her, but he also implied that it was she who had ruined the relationship. Tamar was having none of it, so she took out her phone and went all out to expose Jeremy for lying and twisting the truth. As it happens, if you've been following Tamar's life for any length of time, you're aware of her lack of success in the dating department. Tamar's romantic history has been, to put it mildly, turbulent. She has been married twice, both of which resulted in tumultuous divorces. Tamar chose to take a break and concentrate on herself after her first marriage barely lasted a year before she decided to call it quits. However, you know how life is. There's always a twist waiting around the corner. Let me tell you, the divorce was complete mayhem. This is where it gets interesting. Al appeared on the reality dating show Queen's Court, and Tamar, being the fierce and fabulous woman that she is, decided to give love another chance. Their connection was like a wildfire spreading quickly and burning brightly in just 10 episodes. And Jeremy was down on one knee, popping the big question. "Oh my God, I love you, Tarleave. Will you marry me? Can you believe it?" I mean, who proposes after knowing someone for just a few weeks? Something told me to trust the process, and I've never done anything like this before. And what's the worst that can happen? I find love. But even her sister Tony was surprised. She called, told me, "Tony, I'm engaged." Yeah, to who to be, what to do, what you're engaged to do, what, And she said, "No, I got a guy, girl, you going to love him." And now that we thought she was finally happy with her soon-to-be husband, Jeremy Robinson, we could finally relax. Well, that didn't last long. Now their relationship has ended before it even started, like they've been engaged for 6 months and are already calling it quits. What happened? Apparently Tamar doesn't know either. And she heard the news of their breakup about the same time that we did. She didn't even get a heads up or anything. Jer posted the news on his Instagram. And it was almost like he was shifting the blame to Tamar. He wrote so many questions, so many assumptions. I want to answer all that I can with respect. Yes, Tamar and I are no longer together. I ended the relationship to focus on getting back to positive energy and being a better person. What happened? And why? That's our private place. No, I never cheated. No, I wasn't there when she was at her mother's place, when her car was burglarized. No, I never cared about fame. I have always represented famous people, and the truth is I was in an amazing place financially. And mentally, I turned down Queen's Court several times before I gave in. Ultimately, I fell in love. And it did not end how I wanted it. So I want to heal Tamar. And I will always be friends and family for life. Thank you for respecting our privacy. So Jeremy dropped a bombshell announcing the breakup. But guess what? No one's buying it, and Tamar wasn't having any of it either. He denied cheating and claimed he never cared about fame. But then he slightly hinted that Tamar might be the problem. Sneaky, right? So Tamar hit back, and boy did she hit back. Tamar created a video on the internet to clarify the situation. She stated, "Hey, I've been working on myself. Okay, mental health matters, people." She continued, "I've done a lot to work on my mental health and change who I used to be into who I am now." Rumors began to circulate quickly, alleging Tamar had always been somewhat toxic and petty. Tamar had to defend her newly discovered mentally healthy self, saying, "I don't care what they say, what they put out, and I'm not even going to address or talk about or fall into the devil's traps." Robinson, Holly Pete, The legendary actress and host of Queen's Court just threw a huge curveball into this drama-filled mess. Holly is used to the bright lights and glamour of Hollywood, but she also avoids sticky situations. So when she spoke up in a post discussing their breakup, we knew it was for a good reason. Holly wished you both the best and said, "You were among the most prepared and camera-ready." She wasn't sure whether to decline Queen's Court 3 times. We all know what goes wrong when someone is well-respected and detached from drama as Holly Robinson steps into the translation world. Good luck, buddy. Pete calls you out, you know you've messed up big time now. Here's where the karma. Train rolls into the station. Remember when Tamar was all up in other people's business throwing shade left? And right, well, now the tables have turned, and she's the one dealing with heartbreak. Some fans are side-eyeing her, saying she's playing the victim card and being very overly dramatic. They're not buying her version of events, calling her out for being the problem. One fan wrote, "He said I ended the relationship to focus on getting back to positive energy and being a better person." What I gathered from that statement is Tamar has negative energy, and her negativity was bringing the worst out of me. Another one said, "Not surprised anyone who can put up with Tamar for 2 seconds deserves a gold medal. Ouch. That's mean since Tamar needs all the support she can get right now, especially considering her past relationships. And how bad they ended too. Let's talk about her marriage to Vince Herbert. While the cameras were rolling, everything seemed fine. But behind closed doors, it was a different story. Police had to intervene not once but multiple times. Can you imagine the chaos? Cops showing up at fancy hotels, family members worried sick. And all the while Tamar trying to keep it together. Tamar Braxton, Tamar's mother, didn't keep quiet about the abuse Tamar was subjected to. Even if the police weren't aware of it, she spoke out about it. Braxton Tony, even though Tamar's sister saw a terrifying incident and called 911, the police couldn't prove anything because there were no visible marks. This is where Tamar showed incredible strength. After going through so much, she bravely called the police to report the domestic violence. It took a lot of courage, but she did it. And you know what? It was significant because, following her divorce, she jumped right into a new relationship with David, making them appear to be the ultimate power couple. Tamar was infatuated with David, and they appeared to be inseparable. But in reality, David was the one accusing her of domestic violence this time around. "I have experienced domestic violence. I was attacked, and he denied ever having touched Tamar. I have never, ever, and will never touch a woman again. I was raised in a home where my parents were the most loving and kind couple in the world. I did not grow up in that kind of environment." Tamar Braxton has experienced a great deal. She has been through a lot, which is why it was crucial for her to take a break before moving on to the next man. The exact opposite of what she did. He has a lot of baggage. 5 children with 4 different women, plus the twist that 2 of those children were born to 2 different women in the same year. It's obvious he can't commit, but she chose to ignore that. Next, there were other red flags, like the claim made by his alleged sugar baby, who posted Jeremy on her story and said, "My sugar daddy didn't propose. I'm about to make him pay for the embarrassment." Another accusation made by one of Junior's baby mamas painted a troubling portrait of Jeremy, alleging that he wasn't just casually involved with multiple women, but also manipulative and dismissive, and that he seemed to have a black woman fetish. When Tamar's birthday finally arrived, her fans begged her to flee so she could celebrate. She wrote on social media, "It's my birthday, but I have to post the one who puts this cheesy smile on my face." It took her some time to realize that this wholesome, traditional love was what she needed and wanted. Between the 6 of us, we have 6 children, and they mean the world to her. However, not everyone felt the same way. Enter Jeremy's other baby mama, who isn't having any of Tamar's bonus mom talk. She bluntly calls Tamar out, accusing her of violating everyone's privacy while they violated mine. I have watched in quiet as this lady entered my son's life and brought about nothing but confusion and needless drama. She is not my son's stepmother nor a bonus. He is not her everything. Jeremy shared this on his Instagram story as a sign of his decision to back Tamar. Just days before Jeremy announced the end of their engagement, Tamar Braxton took to Twitter with a cryptic message that had fans buzzing. She has always been an amazing mother and spoiled my children with love, so I guess he changed his mind about that since he's not feeling in love anymore. Everyone has been going crazy to find the real reason behind the divorce, because no one is really buying what Jeremy said. Tamar mentioned that there are mean and calculated people in the world. Although she didn't identify them specifically, many fans assumed that the person she was referring to in her tweet, who she is now no longer in a relationship with, was her now former fiancé. Tamar is a compassionate and understanding person who was willing to give Jeremy another chance. She was ready to work on their relationship, likely hoping for a viral comeback story. But this is where things got messy. Jeremy, her timing of the